In my opinion, Minecraft needs a visual and quality of life update, but I doubt that's ever gonna happen, so let's do it ourselves with mods. Now, I'm mainly talking about mods that improve the overall vanilla experience with things like better sound effects, more atmospherics, enhanced visuals, and a whole lot more, so let's get started. So first off, of course, we need to install all the mods. I'm not gonna go super in depth here, but essentially you need to install Fabric for Minecraft. Once that's good to go, you're gonna head to the description and pick out all the mods you want to use, or of course just keep watching as I showcase each one and what they do to help you decide if you want it or not. Now, just a few quick notes, a lot of these mods do have other mods that they require to run, so for each one, just make sure to check the dependencies list and download whatever it needs. Also, after you've downloaded all the mods, expect the game to crash. It's just gonna happen. But you can use this screen here to see what's happening and what you need to do. Now, let's finally get into the meat and spuds of this video and delve into every single mod and what exactly they add to the game. For the first couple of mods that are going to make the vanilla experience a lot nicer is going to be some performance mods, with those being Sodium, Indium, and Noisium. The first two just, generally increase performance in Minecraft. You can see right now I'm running at about 300 frames per second. That is with a pretty beefy system. You can see, I mean, it's a little bit outdated now, but 2080 Ti, i9 9900, and we're getting some decent frames. And then the Noisium mod simply increases our world generation speed by up to 20 to 30%, which is pretty good. I mean, there's literally no downside to using these mods, so there's no reason not to get them, you know? Now, the next most important mod, in my opinion, is going to be shaders. Right now, the game, it just, there is a certain, vibe to the vanilla look, but I'm just not about that life anymore. I've got a computer that can run them, so we're going to be using Iris shaders. We're going to turn on our shaders, and we're also going to be using complementary unbound. And there we go. This is how our game is looking now. You can see it just completely transforms the look in just, dude, there's just nothing better than shaders, You can see my performance now, it's tanked a bit. We're down below 100 frames. So yeah, obviously it's going to affect your performance quite a bit. Just to note, I do have the render distance at the max at the moment, so that's also affecting it, of course. And also, when you use complementary shaders, it's not going to look this good, okay? It's just a fact, and I do have another video that you can go and watch to get the exact settings that I'm using right now, so be sure to go check that out if you want, your game to look exactly like mine. And so now, continuing on with how far away we can see, we have the Distant Horizons mod. At the moment, this is vanilla at the max render distance. We can see pretty far, but it is nothing compared to Distant Horizons. So let's turn that on and see how it looks. And here is our new world with Distant Horizons on. As you can see, it hasn't really finished rendering in all of the chunks at this point, but you can see how far away we can actually see up to. Like, Jesus Christ, man, that is insane. Let's just go fly over there real quick. So yeah, obviously the only downside with this is that you have to actually wait for all of the chunks to render in for this to be useful, but if you have a world where you've already loaded a lot of the chunks, like in my building world here, we can see very far away, and yeah, that is just insane, dude. Next, we're getting into some of the more useful mods, with this first one being the apple skin mod. All this simply does is add a nice little tooltip to every single food item in the game, and it shows you exactly how much hunger and saturation it is going to heal. This is especially useful for mods that add in new foods, like Croptopia and Farmer's Delight, as it just shows you exactly how much food it's going to heal. If you want to be able to see things from far away, this next mod is going to be very handy, and that is Camera Utils. The main thing I use from this mod is the zoom, which, holding that down, bang, we can see something from far away. We can also use our mouse wheel to scroll in and out. I just really love having that customizable zoom. It's just really handy for spotting things from far away. It also has some other interesting features, like a detachable camera. So I can press F12 is what I've bound it to. And you can see now I am, I'm just moving my guy around, and the camera's staying there. It is very hard to control. But yeah, if you want to get some interesting camera angles and shots of your own character, then that's another cool feature as well. Next up, we have Ortho Camera, which is another camera mod, obviously. But this one is very handy if you want to just get a quick overview of a build or, your landscape. So for instance, instead of having to go all the way up here and, have a look at my build and get maybe a screenshot of it or something, I can instead just, toggle the mod on. And as you can see, we just have a nice orthographic camera view of our entire build. The cool thing about this is we can actually zoom this out as far as we want as well, and we can get a look at the entire world. That is insane. Look at that. If you want to get a quick and easy overview of your entire area, this mod is it's phenomenal for that. If you're like me and you get annoyed when you hear that pickup sound and you don't know what item you just picked up, then this next mod is going to be perfect for you, which is the pickup notifier. Now, if I just walk around and I pick up an item I don't know what it was, in the bottom right there, it's going to show you exactly what you picked up. For instance, if I just throw all of my crap onto the ground here, and I can just pick it all up, and it's going to show, all of those items there. Very useful, very helpful. Next, we have the Better Stats mod, which simply adds a better statistics screen. Instead of just having everything laid out in a row, we have everything everything laid out in a row. But, you know, we have a search bar here, for instance, if I wanted to see how much time I've played in this world. You know, subtle flex, a casual 73 days, okay, settle down. A cool thing about this as well is we can actually pin certain things to the HUD. We can put it exactly where we want to put it. Click done, and now that's always going to show on the top left if I just want to see, you know, how long I've been playing for, I guess. For the next mod in the useful category, we have mouse tweaks, and the main thing that we really want from this is just the ability to hold shift and left click to easily just drag all of the items in from, you know, a chest into our inventory. In vanilla, you'd have to shift click each one of these individually. This mod just lets you drag everything in while holding down left click, which is awesome. Another thing that this mod does as well is allows you to, while continuously holding right click, keep putting the same items over the same, you know, slot. And this final mod in the useful category is just going to simply be the durability tooltip mod. It adds a nice little counter there at the bottom of all of your tools and shows you exactly how much durability it has left. You can also configure this mod to display that durability in a couple of different ways, like we have a bar. We have it where it can actually say it in text if you wanted to, or, you know, durability out of, you know, the maximum. All right, next up, we're getting into some mods that affect the sounds of the game, with the first mod here being sounds, aptly named. So some of the basic stuff that this mod does is just change some of the block sounds. For instance, stone now sounds almost exactly like nether brick. Stone bricks, that is, sorry. Sounds like nether bricks. Gravel sounds like this. Yeah, it sounds a lot more meatier. It also changes the footstep sounds on those blocks, of course, as well. But some more interesting things that this mod changes is, you know, it actually adds some sounds to the UI. You can hear that little noise as we open the inventory, also as we move items around. Diamonds are probably one of my most favorite. When we place items, it makes that sound. Also, when we, like, place a bunch of items. That sounds so nice, man. That is the most satisfying sound I've ever heard in my life, dude. Holy crap. It also adds some different sounds to all of the different crafting blocks in the game. And it also adds sounds to things like deleting items in creative, typing as well. Yeah, I mainly like this mod for all of the UI sounds that it adds, because it just makes it, you know, it's just such a boring thing before, and now it just sounds so nice. Placing blocks in your inventory and, you know, even scrolling in your hotbar as well. Next up, we have the Sound Physics Remastered mod, and right now we're in a cave because this is the best place to showcase it. Right now we don't have the mod on, so you can kind of get a baseline of what everything sounds like. And now I've just turned the mod on and we can hear what block placing sounds like. Also with things like spiders and other mobs. Yeah, so as you can tell, it just adds a nice echo to everything. It also adds like realistic sound muffling and stuff like that. So yeah, for instance, if we blow up some TNT behind this wall here, let me just go ahead and ignite that. We can kind of hear that it's going to be muffled behind this. Yeah, dude, that is so nice. So yeah, it adds like muffling behind walls and stuff as well. It's a bit less noticeable, you know, in anywhere kind of outside of caves. Yeah, underwater as well, you can hear. It does muffle that as well. Just add this mod, okay? You won't regret it. Now, to tie in with that, we also have immersive thunder. So if I set the, you know, the weather over to stormy, and I can't really be bothered waiting for lightning to strike, so I'm just gonna type in, you know, /strike. And wow, dude, that thunder sounds insane. It also adds realism to that thunder sound as well. If it's further away, it's gonna add a delay to that sound. It's also gonna smoothen that sound off as well the further away you are. But yeah, dude, when it's close to you, that sound is insane. It gives me goosebumps, literally. That is crazy, dude. And so for the final sound mod, we have ambient sounds, which, you know, it's a bit self-explanatory. It adds ambience to Minecraft. It's a little bit subtle at the moment, but if we head probably closer down into the forest, there we go. And insects, dude, that it just adds so much life to the game, man. Let's head underwater and see how that sounds. And let's head down into a cave as well. I'm interested to see how that sounds. Oh my god, dude. That literally gives me goosebumps. I'm not even gonna kizzy cap on a stack right now. Dude, that combined with the frickin' whatever physics sounds mod. caves just feel so much creepier, dude. Dude, I have non-stop goosebumps at them. Oh, diamonds. I love it, dude. That is awesome. All right, next up, we're getting into the animation slash detail mods, with this first one being the continuity mod. As you can see at the moment with this old-ass ultimate super smelter build that I made, right now our glass blocks are not connected together and looking quite ugly, in my opinion. So with the continuity mod installed, we can head to options, resource packs, and we can add in these top two, click done, and all of our glass is going to be nicely connected together like that. That looks, just looks infinitely better in my opinion. So yeah, it's up to you if you want that mod or not, but you know, honestly, I highly recommend it, okay? Now, if you're a fellow human like me and you like to eat food, this next mod just makes that a lot more, you know, interesting to look at, I guess. So right now I don't have the mod installed. When we eat steak and apples and stuff, you know, we just kind of munch on it and then it disappears basically. Now with the eating animation mod enabled, we can go ahead and take a bite out of some steak, and as you can see, as we eat it, that steak is, you know, disappearing. When we eat an apple, it's going to take bites from either side and then show that little apple core. And then with melons, we're going to take bites from the middle and then leave the peel as well, which is pretty cool. This next mod is another addition to caves, and I don't have it enabled right now just so we can get a little bit of a baseline, but I'm going to switch it on right now. So here we have the cave dust mod enabled, and as you can see, it just adds these nice little particles that just float through the air whenever you're in caves, and just adds a whole bunch of atmospherics to this, dude. It's such a simple addition, but honestly, without it, caves just feel so lifeless and just empty, and this just makes that kind of, I don't know, dude, it's just nice, man. Just download the bloody mod, okay? Next, we have the falling leaves mod. You can already see this. I mean, it's a bit self-explanatory, but it adds falling leaves under, you know, leaves in the game. A very simple addition, but also a very nice one to make your forest feel that much more lively and interesting. Just ignore this giant cube in the sky. We're trying to be immersed right now, you know? So yeah, honestly, I don't really know if this has any kind of performance impact. I really doubt it does. So there's just really no reason not to add this mod to your game, okay? This next mod is the smooth scroll mod, and again, pretty self-explanatory. Looking down at my hotbar, you can see it's nicely smoothly scrolling between each one. As we open the inventory, we can nicely just scroll through the creative menu here, and it does this for basically every menu in the game as well, even for our statistics, modded statistics screen here, even to the chat as well. I mean, I don't really have a chat at the moment, but if I just type enough crap, man, it's not giving me a scroll bar, but you can kind of see the animation as well as we open the chat. It's nice and smooth. You get the point, okay? Now, another kind of UI mod that we have is the immersive UI. So let's go ahead and open it up, and the first thing you can see is it adds this little animation as we hover over every item. Also, once we go ahead and grab an item, you can see it also adds a little kind of a jiggly physics animation. And the third thing as well that it's meant to do is add a nice like trail behind some items, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to really do that for me. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I was just using the wrong item. There we have an enchanted apple. You can see we have these nice particles behind it. So yeah, it's only some items that are gonna do that. I don't know which ones those are. So yeah, if you want your UI to be a little bit more lively, that first sounds mod, dude, it's just so good. It makes it feel so much more premium. And then this mod as well just makes that UI feel even better. But we're not done with the UI, we got one more. Okay, I actually lied. We have 2 more UI mods, with this next one being a kind of toned down version of the one we just looked at. This one, all it simply does is just adds a little pop in, and literally, yeah, that's it. Just a pop in animation as you pick up items. It just simply makes it a little bit larger, and that's really it. Honestly, I think I prefer this to the last one just because it's a little bit too much having the item, you know, wobble around. This just feels a little bit more toned down from that, and a little bit more kind of usable, I guess, in my opinion. All right, now the final UI mod that we have is the flow mod. Now, if I open up my inventory, you'll see we have this nice animation that goes up and in and then out and down. That doesn't really make sense. But, you know, it adds this nice animation, and it's also highly customizable. Let's go take a look. You need to have the mod list mod installed to be able to access this, and then you need also cloth config to be able to edit the, you know, config of this. But this is highly customizable. We can change the animation type. We can make it slide in from the side, or, you know, just any kind of thing that you want. You can even change the easing type and the duration as well. I might actually lower mine to 100 milliseconds and just see how that looks. Yeah, so that's just a bit quicker. I feel like the other one is a little bit too slow. The other thing we can do with this as well is change the actual background of the UI. And so what I want to do with this is actually disable the background tint, and I want to set the blur intensity up to 80%, because I had another mod that actually did this, but then I found this mod that I can actually do what that other mod does, but in this mod, if that makes sense. So now if we open our inventory, inventory, you can see there's no tinting, there's no darkness to the background now, and it's just a little bit more blurry. If we turn off the JEI mod as well, so you can see it just feels a little bit more, I don't know, premium, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I just like it. It looks a lot nicer to me, okay? Alright, next up we're taking a look at 3 different mods that affect the biomes of Minecraft, with the first one here being a geophilic. I also will just say all of these biome mods don't actually add any new blocks to the game, they just simply affect the existing biomes and add their own ones in some cases. And yeah, this first mod, geophilic, is the most mild of the 3, as it just adds subtle little changes to all the biomes. The first thing you might be able to notice straight away is that all of the trees are going to be a little bit taller. The shapes of the leaves and everything is all exactly the same, but they're just a little bit taller. It also adds interesting things to the terrain, like little rocks. We also have moss and stuff around the place. We've got patches of coarse dirt. And one of my favorite things as well, yeah, there's another thing as well, it adds like little branches and stumps to some trees and stuff. But yeah, this is one of my favorite things. It actually adds fallen logs. Sometimes they can have moss on top of them as well. When it comes to plains, there's definitely a lot more grass, like the top actual grass added throughout. We've also got little rocks scattered around the place. Some of them can have ores in them as well. And there's also cute little things like these bushes scattered around the place too. Also, when it comes to the stony shores biome, it's been altered a little bit. There's all these like big jagged peaks, and it also adds heaps of moss into this biome as well, just to give it a nice lush feel. Yeah, here's a giant stony shores biome. This looks awesome, dude. But yeah, this biome mod does change all of the other biomes as well, so be sure to go check it out if you want kind of the full scope of this mod. For the next biome mod, we have tectonic, which is definitely a bit bigger of an overhaul to all of the biomes in Minecraft. As you can see here, when it comes to mountain ranges, they spare no expense at going quite crazy with these mountains here. You can see it's even picking up into the clouds here, which is kind of crazy. Another thing that this does is also just generally smoothen out all of the terrain. You can definitely see in this plains biome here that it is a lot smoother than your average, you know, plains biome. Another feature that this adds is underground rivers. Usually maybe a river might just like abruptly stop here, but in this biome mod, it just keeps going underground, and dude, this is insane. Yeah, this just keeps going on and on through these dripstone caves. This would be so much fun to explore in survival, man. Holy crap. Dude, look at this village. This is insane. I've never seen a village like this before. When it comes to deserts, you can definitely notice that smoothness as well, and apparently when it comes to deserts, sometimes they can have these cool little like dunes and stuff. I haven't really been able to find one that has actual defined like sand dunes. But yeah, another aspect to this biome mod as well is deeper oceans. So you can see here, this is probably like the vanilla depth. Like this is about as deep as it goes, maybe a little bit deeper, but as we head further out into the middle of the ocean, you can see this goes very deep. It's literally giving me goosebumps, dude. Like, honestly, this is how it should be in vanilla Minecraft, dude. I love having, like, these massive deep oceans. You actually feel like... But yeah, apparently these oceans can also sometimes go into the deep slate layer as well, which is just insane. So this mod obviously does affect all of the biomes as well. Again, I don't have time to go through all of them, so let's just get into the third and final biome mod. Now, while the previous 2 biome mods didn't add any new biomes, as far as I'm aware, this new one adds over 95 brand new biomes without adding any blocks as well, to keep that vanilla feel. And this first biome here we have is the Moonlight Valley. And as you can see, we have literal, like, blue grass, and we got all these awesome trees, dude. This is just insane. None of this is custom blocks at all. You can see we've got some stripped logs, and I have no idea how they're doing this, like, blue grass, but this is so cool, man. This biome mod also adds in some structures as well, like this one over here, which is like a spire sort of thing. I think, yes, it also does have like pillages and stuff in there. We've even got some axolotls. Wonder if there's any loot in here. There's a witch at the top too. Oh yeah, up here. Here's the loot. What do we got? Some diamonds. Jeez, there's a lot of diamonds here. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, just getting an overview with our good old orthographic camera mod. This might have been the thumbnail I used for this video. I might have changed it. I don't remember. Here's another new biome. We have the gravel desert that also has snow in it, but this looks awesome. We've actually got dead coral as like different kinds of bushes throughout this gravel desert, which just gives it such a unique and like weird feeling to it. Over here, it looks like we have another new biome. This is the shrubland biome. Dude, this is awesome. Over here, we've got some massive, like just this massive plains island. Here we go. Here's some special stuff. This is called the shield biome. I don't know why it's called that, but this looks awesome. But yeah, Terralith here is definitely the biome mod that you want if you want, you know, just as many new biomes as you can get, with geophilic being on the complete opposite side of the spectrum there, the most kind of vanilla plus one, and then tectonic is a little bit in between these two. Alright, now we're getting into the resource packs section, with the first one being Mochin's Better Leaves. So as you can see, yeah, it just adds a big old bushiness to all of the leaves. For some reason, yeah, whenever they catch light. I don't know if it's just my shaders, but it just looks very weird. But over here, when there's no light and it's just in shadow, it looks more normal. I used to use these a lot, but honestly, I don't anymore just for performance reasons. It adds a lot of lag to your game, especially when there's a lot of leaves in, you know, one area. But that's also why I've included fancy fast bushy leaves into this list, because this is a little bit of a less performance degrading version, but also a little less bushy. You can see it's just a little extra bushiness, but does make the leaves feel and look a lot nicer. Again, we still do have that issue over here where the light isn't really being casted on it properly. I don't know why that is. But yeah, if you find the previous versions a little bit too laggy, then this one might be a little bit better for you. Next up on the resource pack list, we have 3D crops. Right now, I obviously don't have it enabled. This is just to get a baseline of how all of the crops look in the game. You can see wheat here. It's kind of just like a bunch of flat plains that gives the illusion of like a nice little field of crops. Over here, you can see pumpkins and sugar canes. And now I'm just going to quickly turn it on, and instantly you can notice a big difference just from afar. But as we go closer, you can see we actually have these like 3D carrots in here, which is pretty crazy. Our wheat is like actual individual stems now instead of those flat plains. So you can see it's a lot more like dense looking. Over here at our beetroot, same with carrots, we've got these little beetroots sticking out of the ground, and same goes for potato as well. This just looks so cute, man. When it comes to melons and pumpkins, obviously these are already 3D, but the stems here, these are now actual 3D models, which look beautiful. And probably my most favorite one here is the sugar canes. Oh my god, these look so cool. I love the way these look now. Almost looks like bamboo as well. I almost forgot to mention the mushrooms as well. These things are beautiful. Look at those, dude. That is awesome. For the next resource pack, we have enchant icons. So this one, once again, pretty self-explanatory. If we go ahead and throw some items into the enchanting table and enchant them, you can see our actual enchantments have a little icon to the left of them, and they also have a nice little color in the name as well. Let's do a sword. You can see some of the sword stuff there. Same with a, you know, a chest plate. Here's some other ones that I pre-prepared earlier as well. With a sword, you can see all the different colors and icons. Pretty cool. Honestly, there's just no reason not to get this once again. It's just adds that extra little layer of quality to the game, I guess. Now, we do actually have a lot more 3D resource packs to go through, so we're going to rapid fire the next bunch we've got, with the first one being rails. Right now, they're not turned on. You can see we have these flat-ass rails, and now with raised 3D rails turned on, you can see they are actual 3D models and looking beautiful. Next, it's onto ladders. It's kind of the same deal as the rails. Once you get onto the side here, they are paper thin, and now with 3D ladders installed, they are looking insane. Dude, these look so much better. I love it. Next, it's onto the lanterns. Once again, this is how they look like without them on. They are obviously 3D, but they're gonna look way better. Just give me a second. Holy crap, dude. That is insane. They look awesome, dude. Just adds like a little frame to them, and also this top portion is way better looking. Also, I forgot to mention, this resource pack actually affects chains as well. As you can see, these are actually 3D now too. Now, for the final 3D resource pack, we have the one that affects doors and trap doors. So right now, I don't have it on. You can see doors are actually 3D, but when you look through the window, they're actually, you know, there's just kind of nothing behind it. It's a bit of a weird effect, but yeah, they're kind of see-through on the sides, which is just kind of ugly. Same with trapdoors here. You can see there's just nothing on the inside there. So let's turn it on, and now you can see we can actually see the inside of the trapdoor here. Same goes for the door. We actually see the inside of that little area there. Also, the handle as well has been extruded and made into its own layer as well, which is pretty cool. I especially love this with the spruce doors. That little ring there looks so nice, man. That is awesome. Now, just for a quick look at some of the other doors as well, we have iron doors here. We've got the cherry doors, dark oak, bamboo, and also iron trap doors. They look awesome now, dude, especially with the shaders and that reflection. That is awesome. And now for the final resource pack and final thing of the video, we have one that affects the grass of Minecraft. Right now, obviously, we do not have it on. This is just to get a nice little bit of a baseline going, and we can head into Oz's grasses here. We have 3 different versions. I'm going to quickly go through all of them, starting with the Mojang style one here. Let's turn that on. And so all this one does is add a little bit of color variation to all of the grass throughout. You can see we've got some pale ones. We've got a little bit more vibrant ones throughout. Also, with some of the tall grasses, we have some that actually have those little, like, I don't know what they're called, but you know, those things. So that was the Mojang style. Next, we're going to enable the shorter variant. And here's how this one looks. So yeah, just kind of transforms all of the grass to be a lot more bushy looking. Here's a look from afar. It is kind of weird looking, but it does also look really cool. You can see with the tall grass as well, it's just so much more bushy and crazy. Here's a bit of a view with the orthographic camera mod, just to get a bit more of a better overview. So that was the shorter variant. Now let's get on to the final one, which is the full variant. Let's go. And here it is. So yeah, instead of all of that grass being super short, it is now the full length and nice and tall. All of the tall grass as well is looking crazy. It's just looking, yeah, it is super lush and super nice, dude. That is awesome. Once again, here's a look from far away, looking quite nice. All right, and that that just about covers every single mod and resource pack you can use to enhance vanilla Minecraft. If you want to watch me attempt to survive 100 days building the ultimate farm, check this video out right here.